Hello, I'm Windy. I will storytelling about Snow White. There lived a queen who was pregnant in the place. She was happy to see a view from the window of her place. She often see a lot of snow and melodious birds singing while sewing a dress. One day she said to herself about being brown, I want to give birth to a beautiful daughter. Her skin is white as snow, her lips are red like a pomegranate, and her hair is jet black and long. She said himself. Suddenly, she was tapped with needles causing blood to drain onto the snow outside the window. A few days later, she gave birth to a beautiful daughter according to her expectation, who has named Snow White. However, shortly after giving birth, the queen died. After Snow White grew up, the king didn't want his daughter to feel lonely, so he decided to remarry. However, the stepmother was not keen to Snow White because she felt that the princess beauty rivaled her own. The stepmother began to have evil plans towards Snow White. She ordered the soldier to take Snow White away from the place to harm her secretly. She also asked for Snow White hurt as proof. The soldier that took Snow White away from the place, she took her deep into the forest. When she wanted to kill her, the soldier hesitated and could not harm Snow White. She also let Snow White live alone in the forest. The soldier returned to the place with a buffalo heart instead of Snow White hearts. The evil queen was happy because she thought Snow White was gone and nothing could compete with her beauty. She also looked in the mirror and praised himself. No, I'm the most beautiful in this country. Snow White was confused in the forest. She walked through every forest until finally she saw a small house from a distance. Snow White was soon approaching the house. When she entered the house, she saw 7 seats and beds, and furniture also numbering 7. Due to tiredness and hunger, she ate the food available at dining table. After finishing eating, Snow White lay down in a room. She didn't know that the tiny house was inhabited with dwarfs. After a day of work in the forest, the dwarfs return home happily. They are very hungry and want to eat quickly. When opening the door of the house, all of the dwarfs were surprised because there is very little food left. Who has eaten our food? Asked the dwarfs. The other dwarfs looked toward the room and immediately opened the bedroom door. There appeared a beautiful princess lying in the room. Look, she is tired. Let her rest here, said another dwarf. Shortly after, Snow White woke up and was surprised to see the dwarfs surrounding her. She apologized to the dwarfs for entering the house without their permission. She also tells the true incident, having no purpose. Snow White asks to the 7 dwarfs to be allowed to live with them in a tiny house. All the dwarfs welcome her present, but Snow White has to cook for the 7 dwarfs and tidy up the house. One day, the queen reflecting in her magic mirror. She asks, Hi, my magic mirror, who is the most beautiful in this country? The magic mirror answered, Snow White is the most beautiful. The queen was angry because she knows Snow White was still alive and ready to be her own soldier. She also wanted to be again to Snow White. The queen seeks out Snow White and transforms herself into a grandmother carrying a basket of apples. One of the apples she was carrying had been poisoned. She headed into the woods to find Snow White. Then she met Snow White, the queen who's become a grandmother figure. Offered the apples she had brought in exchange for bread. Out of compassion, Snow White was willing to exchange it. Snow White accepted the poisoned apple without suspecting anything. After eating the apple, she was anxious. After the 7 dwarfs come home, they were sad to see Snow White lying unconscious. The 7 dwarfs thought Snow White had died, so they decided to put Snow White in the coffin. Then they put in the front of the house and decorated it with flowers. One day there was a prince riding a horse who rode the forest. He saw a chest containing Snow White and thought it was the princess who always came into his dreams. He kissed the princess and a miracle happened. Snow White slowly opened her eyes. All the dwarfs were very happy to see this. Then the prince asked Snow White to be his queen. Snow White accepted it. They married and lived happily with the 7 dwarfs. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next videos.